everyone, it's FSG here, hope you're all doing well. We're back on Court Farms for the third day in a row, and we've got a little bit more of levelling to do in the pit here. I think we're at about 82%, there we go, so we've got a little bit more levelling here. All the grass is in here now, 229,000 litres, so not a bad little haul if I'm being honest. And then we could probably start attacking those fields. I don't know how long this snow is going to last. Looking up in the top corner there, the forecast is saying sun later on today, so hopefully this isn't going to settle and we can push on and keep going with the two new fields. Now, they need ploughing and they need liming, so there's quite a bit to do in terms of prep for those fields, so I don't see why we can't get through that with the weather like it is. And we'll keep an eye open for any contracts that pop up as well. So, first things first though, I think what we're going to do is jump into the wheel loader here. We'll finish levelling this and get it covered, and then that is a tick in the box for food for the winter for the cows. They did eat a fair bit overnight. We're probably going to have to top those up in a little bit as well. But they are doing well. They've started to produce milk and slurry. So, in future, we can use that for some of our fertiliser as well. But, like I said, first things first, lime and plough those fields. And we'll see what happens after that. Right. Bear with me while I get this sorted. It's quite a tedious job, but worth doing. So, we'll be back as soon as this is finished. There we go, last couple of percent now to go. I had been pushing up with the blade, but I got to a point where it was just about levelling it out and making sure that it was compacted enough so we could cover it up. There's, like I said earlier, a really good bit of crop in here. I was impressed with how much we got off the field actually. So definitely this will keep us going for the winter. We're on 99%. Come on, there we go, 100%. So there we go. Let's fold this up. Probably drop this down. Bale spike, bucket. We'll need the bucket when we unload it, so we can find a space for this, maybe just over here. Now there's the pickup header. Here's a suggestion that I'm going to make to Charles next time I see him, is that rather than getting the class forage harvester replaced or repaired, I'm going to suggest that we trade it in and we go for pickup wagons. We've got the mowers, we've got the windrowers, so why would you not just go for a pickup wagon? I've actually seen some nice ones which I think will do the job perfectly, and probably takes a step out in terms of the amount of machinery we're using as well. So I'll see what he says, not for a conversation now because there's no grass work to be done just at the moment, but definitely think that's something worth considering. It's still here, hasn't been picked up by the dealers yet, so we shall see what they say. Although, when it comes to the maize harvest, maybe we do need to keep it. We'll give it some thought anyway, and we'll see what we think at the end of it. Maybe we'd run trailers for the grass and run that for the corn. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway. Next steps, let's jump into the map and I'll show you what my thinking is for today. So there's our two custom fields. They were just the grassed areas, so we've marked those out as fields now, home farms 1 and 2. But if I jump over to here from a soil composition perspective, you can see that they need ploughing. If I turn ploughing off for a second, you will see they also need lime. So we can do both of those. They don't need rolling, and they don't need mulching, which is good, but they need some fertilization as well. So, thinking ahead, I probably will lime, plough, I'm trying to decide whether or not I put a cover crop in. Maybe some oilseed radish. Maybe that could potentially go in both the fields and we can reseed the grass on this one, or we can just leave the grass to regrow on Home Farm 1, and Home Farm 2 is going to be potentially our cornfield. And if we look at the crop calendar here, we have got 4 months. We've got all the way till April until we can plant our corn. And we've missed the window for oilseed rape. We can't actually plant a cover crop either, so it looks like we're going to have to lime and plough only, and we'll have to, I think, naturally fertilise it. Hopefully our slurry reserves will build up over the next few months and we can get some slurry into that field instead. But for now, we've got a job to do. We're going to go and get a new box spreader. We don't have a dry fertiliser lime spreader available at the moment. We've only got that tiny little liquid sprayer that you know from our contracting yard. So I am going to treat us to a new spreader, and I'm going to buy it again. Reason being, it's not ridiculously expensive, and 2, I can see us using it a lot. I think it will come in handy for some of our contracts. So we're going to head to the shop and pick it up now. In fact, we'll order it, and it hopefully will be ready when we get there. So my thinking was I was going to go for this, the Amazon ZATS 3200, but it only holds solid fertiliser. So the next option was the Breedle. 45,000 though, quite a lot of money. Like I said, I want to buy this rather than lease it. So then it was the Breedle F2WS 4000. It holds 4,000 litres, 42 metre working width, which is great. Solid fertiliser and lime. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. The other one was the Roush, but 83,000. It's a little bit too much for me, I think. And again, only solid fertiliser there, just didn't spot that. So the Breedle it is. Let's grab it. And what we'll do is we will go down to the shop and pick it up. We change the colour. It's free. I quite like that in red. Right. Ordered. Yes, we will buy that outright, because I do think we're going to use it a lot. And I think we'll take the case. Right, here we are. And it was sitting nicely waiting for us, so we can hook this up straight away. Now, we don't have any lime back at the yard. We could order some and get it delivered, but it's not going to be here straight away. So we're going to go along to the sell point and pick it up there. So we just need to head over here, past the sell point that we've used a few times already, and past the sugar beet field where we did that huge contract, which is just here. And over at the far end, you can just see the tops of the buildings there is the sell point. But actually the run back to Home Farm after that is very straightforward, so it doesn't feel like we're particularly going out of our way. And if we need to go and fill up with a little bit more, it's not too far to run. So I kind of hope we don't though. 4,000 litres in this, and it's got a nice spreading width as well, so we should be able to cover off both of these fields pretty quickly. Right, we'll fill up and we will see you back at the yard. Right, heading back to Home Farm now. This fully laden has made the front end rather light, so I think I'm going to need to put on a weight when we get back to the yard. It's okay, it's fine on the roads, but I think going through the fields and the bumpiness of the fields, we're going to be bouncing around a lot. It's going to be better to put a weight on the front. But there is Home Farm straight ahead of us, so it isn't a million miles away. In fact, this, I believe, is the field that we combined in the summer as well. So, starting to get to know the place rather nicely. There's another sign for Home Farm as well. Yeah, we're really starting to get our way, understand the map really, and know our way around it, which is nice. Like I said, one of the reasons for contracting was for that very reason. Was just not to be stuck in one corner of the map minding our own business. and get out and about and see as much of the map as possible, because it is beautiful. Right, we'll have a rummage around in one of the sheds up here and see if we can find a weight to put on the front, just to make things a bit easier. There you go, perfect example. Couldn't make the turn there. Right, let's just take it a bit easy. I knew I'd seen one around. There it is. Just by the mechanics there. So that could make all the difference for us, he says, hopefully. Right, let's get straight into this field. And let's get some lime down. We almost got around one lap of the field before running out. Right, let's go and get some more. Okay, we could be running up and down the roads a little bit with this. So, we'll not let you endure that misery. We'll go and get some more, and we'll dive back straight into the field as soon as we can. Right, here we are, back from one last refill, just for this tiny little bit here. Typical the way that happens, isn't it? But there we go. I'd rather do it properly than cut corners, so let's get this last bit covered off. And there you go, all the liming done. That does mean we're going to have a little bit left sitting in the spreader, but that's okay. We can leave it in here. It's very possible we'll need to do some more liming in the not too distant future. It could even pay off to have this in the tank when we do one for a client. So there we go, tiny little bit there, and we are fully limed. Next job, straight in with the plow. Now I might run down. I need to check the horsepower of our plow. This isn't as powerful as the TW, so I might end up using the TW, but we could give it a run on the case as well. I don't like that plough, if I'm being honest. The old traditional plough is a little bit annoying. I think I'd much prefer a deep ripper. But I don't think we've got anything with enough horsepower to run one of those, so and we're stuck with it. I don't want to just spend money for the sake of it either. So let's pop this in a shed somewhere and go and grab the plough. But like I said, we'll check horsepower wise whether or not it's worth taking the case up there, or it makes sense to go and get the TW with the plough on. Now I was just looking at subsoilers here. Now the K brand here, just for 10,500 I can get a 4 meter deep ripper. Not bad. We've got this one as well, 150 horsepower, 130 horsepower. Either way, they are 0.5 of a metre wider than our current plough and need less horsepower. So I actually think I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to go for the Agrisem one though, because I've never used that. But I really like that. So we will sell the old plough. We are going to use the deep ripper. And yeah, hopefully it's all going to work out well. So I'm quite excited about this now. Like I said, I wasn't spending money for the sake of it, but in hindsight, I think this is going to work. So let's see how much we could get for the plow secondhand. Okay, this is a no-brainer. It's actually cheaper new than our plow is secondhand. So if we sell this for 18,000, buy the new one for 10,000, not only do we gain half a metre in width, but we save ourselves £8,552 as well. So let's get a new plough. Right, so that's that sold. We're up to 71,815. Agrisem, not the 3 metre one, no, the 4 metre one. No customizations on it, we're just going to buy it as it is. Only 150 horsepower to pull it as well, so the case will laugh at it. So, let's press the button. I just thought I'd jump in, it did show the sun later on in the day. It's due to finish snowing about 4 PM. But then I looked at January and February and March, and it looks like it's going to snow solidly for 4 months. So I was going to say, do I wait and put it off for another day? But there's absolutely no point because the snow's not going anywhere. So let's get on with the job in hand now. The dealer has very kindly said he was passing, so he delivered our new plough for us. There it is. So let us get into the big field here and get it ploughed. Now, I've been swithering as to whether or not to plough the other field. The one we're going to keep grass in it anyway, but it does say it needs ploughing. Now, I'm not sure if that has a huge impact when it comes to yield with grass, so I am undecided. So I'm actually going to leave it up to you guys. So if you think that the other field, the other grass field that we've just cut over there by the farm, requires ploughing, it does say it needs ploughing on the map, but if you think that is the right thing to do, plough it up, reseed it again with grass. Let me know in the comments and I'll try and apply it in one of the future episodes. If you think it's fine to leave it and it's not going to have a huge impact on the yield of the field and we'll still make enough grass off that to make enough bales, tell me to leave it. I shall do whatever the consensus is with everyone else. But for now, we're definitely ploughing this one because we're going to plant something else in here. So, let's get on with it. Right, that took a bit of time, but we are done and we've got the field ready for planting in the new year. I'm going to pick up those little bits there that we've missed just to make things neat and tidy, but generally that's gone pretty well. I do like that plough. It is narrow, I get that, but at the same time it's done a good job, and I can see us using this again a lot for contracts as well, so well worth having. Let's get this last little bit here, and I think we are done. So this snow is still not abating in any way, shape or form. I'm not sure how it's going to end up. I'm not sure if it's going to lie or not. We don't have any equipment to clear roads or lanes or anything if it does decide to lie, so we need to probably bear that in mind and maybe get prepared to lease some stuff just to clear the roads. But let's run this back to the farm now and have a chat about what we're going to do next. Right, here we go. Let's pop this in this shed here next to the lime spreader, shall we? I am really starting to gather contracting equipment at this yard, which is okay. We know which is mine and which belongs to the farm, so that's fine. Right, let's park this up and decide what's next. Actually, I did realise I hadn't covered the silo after we'd finished compacting it, so let's just do that. Here we go. Let's just press the button. There we go. Right. That is now fermenting. She'll come back to that in the new year. Right. Things we need to do. Like I said, it's a bit light on the ground today. Not much going on just because of the weather more than anything. The cows. Now, they have got a little bit of food, but it's back down into the red after we left them overnight, so we can do that. They are, in fact, let's jump to the menu actually. There we go. They are, in fact, 100% health. Start to make a bit of milk, 4,000 litres, and they have 7,400 litres of slurry, so everything's working as it should. So there we go. 31,000 litres of food, but it's into the red already, so I'm going to mix up another batch, I think, and then we'll feed them that. Now, I think the trick here with this is spike them a bit higher up. And then we've got something to rest against the lip of the machine. Just dangling precariously, this one. I don't know why I'm struggling with this as much as I am. That won't go over now. Right. Maybe it's late and I'm tired. Let's try again. There we go. Right. It's actually a common thing. I remember our feed wagon on the farm when I was growing up. The rim around the top of it was absolutely smashed to bits because it had been battered to pieces so often by the wheel loader when they were loading up food into it. So I think that's a pretty common thing. Oh look, I've knocked another bale off there. Of course I have. There we go. Come on. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. There we go. So there's your balance. Everything within the boundaries. 33% silage, 42% hay, 23% straw. And volume-wise, it'll probably be around about 90%, 95%. So, it's balanced well. At least we've got a full load in there. Right, let's turn this off. In fact, let's not leave it there. Got a bad habit of just leaving stuff lying around the yard. Let's stick it back in the shed. Once it's done, we'll just check the animals again, and then I'm not sure there's too much more for us to do today. Snow still coming down, field ploughed, but we're out with our planting window, so that's just going to sit there and do nothing now. This one's been limed. I'm going to leave it with you guys to decide whether or not we should plough this one and reseed it with grass, or we just let it grow again. And there we go. Winter on the farm. Things are quiet. It's too cold to be hanging around outside here. So on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.